If you're watching this video, we're working on the assumption that you are about to embark on your first piece of relatively major research work on your own. In general, we're probably looking at somebody that is about to start his or her master's degree and will be writing up some of their research in the form of an article.
The first thing you will need is a topic. If you have an idea already, we will show you where you can have a look at what has been done in that area before. And if you don't have an idea of a topic, we are going to try and help you to look in certain places to get new ideas.
If you're looking for an idea, given that we are all involved in accounting education research, it's probably a good place to start to have a look at accounting education journals. In this instance, you can perhaps look at issues in accounting education. Another one would be the Journal of Accounting Education and Accounting Education and International Journal. When you're looking for topics, don't discount the broader education literature. So on the internet, start looking for higher education journals. What is important though is where you look for ideas, it will be helpful later on if you look in the stronger journals, the more highly ranked journals. And for this, it might be a good idea if you Google the Australian Business Deans Council ranking list. They have a journal ranking list there, and you can put in the key terms higher education research or accounting education, and it will give you the journals and it will tell you what they are rated as. And it's always a good idea to try and look in the best possible journal for ideas.
Try to look at the most recent editions of those research journals, as they will have the most recent research methods and the literature will be up to date. When looking for articles or journals, it's probably a good idea to go through the library website. The two links that you will use probably most often is the Google Scholar link and the Find eJournals link. If, for example, you are looking for a specific journal, you can type in the title of that journal and it will search for you. It has now found Issues in Accounting Education, the journal, and it gives you an indication of the databases that journal can be found on, including the years that it is available for. So in this instance, if you are looking at a more recent edition of Issues in Accounting Education, you would probably choose the last databases. You have now found the journal Issues in Accounting Education with the different volumes available and can start reading through them.
A very valuable resource if you are looking for specific articles or you're looking for specific authors. You can even use it for the journals, although the previous route is probably better for journals themselves, is the Google Scholar resource. This is also available through the library website. It looks very similar to the Google web page that you would search the internet for any other popular media on. You may, for example, be interested in finding articles written by ourselves, Kutsia and Shmulyan, and you will type that into your search term, and Google will then go through its database, and you'll be able to then see all the articles, or most of the articles that we've written over the last few years. Things to pay attention to in the search results now is these tools that you can use to sift the results. If you want to see papers that we've only worked on recently, or if you want to customize your date range, you can select one of the options on the left-hand side of your screen, and that narrows the search results down to the publications, in this instance since 2012. Something else that's important is you might find a paper of ours that is interesting to you. You may want to then see who has cited our work and subsequently developed it further, trying to get to the more recent articles that will have the most up-to-date theory and literature development using the latest methods. A valuable tool for that is who has cited the papers, and if you click the option Cited By, that takes you through to all the papers that have cited the publication, and you can start getting an idea again of when these publications were done. Again, your sorting tool is available. If one of these articles is of interest to you in your search results and you were looking for similar articles in the area and you've played around with keywords and come to this, the related articles link, Google will help you find papers that it's indexed based on keywords, etc., that may be in a similar area. This may also be a valuable resource in broadening your literature search and helping you find the most up-to-date papers and what's happening in that part of accounting education research. At this point, it's probably worth mentioning how we found these articles are with authors' names, but often you'll use keywords, etc. So it's important that when you choose your title now for your study and you choose the keywords for your study, that you bear in mind that somebody else is going to look for it and you want to be visible, so consider including things in your title that people might search for.
If you want to cite this specific article in your work, a handy tool is this cite link. We usually use the APA one, but it is important to look at the editorial requirements of the journal you are targeting. How do they want their references written? Follow that format. What we mean with editorial requirements can be things like the font size, the line spacing, the formatting, how you bring in tables or illustrations, the referencing style. And if you want to find the editorial requirements, go to the journal itself and click on a link called something like Information for Authors. This will take you through to all the requirements on how your manuscript should look by the time you submit it to this specific journal.
It's important that you don't just jump into the deep end once you find a topic or an area that's important to you. There are various considerations that must come into account. It may be a spectacularly interesting topic or a potentially world-changing topic, but at the end of the day, you are starting out on your research career and it's unlikely that you will change the world. You need to take into account practicalities, so you'll need to pull those articles that are of interest to you, have a look at how their data collection happened. Will you be able to do it? Will you require ethical clearance for it? Will you have access to whoever you may need access to or the data you need access to? How advanced is the statistical analysis in the papers in the area that you are looking at? All these things need to come into mind. Yes, it must be interesting, but yes, it must also be doable. And include your supervisor in these thoughts and decisions along the whole process, that you can together come to an agreement on what is a workable, interesting solution to get you through the process of writing this article for your master's degree.